Good evening, Lake Orion. Welcome to the month of March. Welcome to our show. I'm your host, Ian Witherspoon, and I am fading to between Taorminas.
It's March Madness.
Welcome to our program today. We're going to kick off the month of March in style, huh?
Got March Madness.
March Madness is soon. We're not talking about that yet, even though Duke lost last night.
And somebody else
There goes
lost.
their number one seed, huh?
Yes.
And somebody else lost.
We'll touch on it.
We'll touch on it.
But
Yep.
first, NHL Realignment.
Yes, NHL Realignment.
Thank Jesus that it's happening, huh? Huh? You two big Wings fans? Happy
No,
we're moving
I
to the
am
East?
not a Wings fan.
Happy we're moving to the
No
East?
way.
Yeah. Load up that proposals and think that we think about. You know,
Load up the proposal. You got a proposal to load?
it's an interesting division realignment because it has Detroit getting what they want, it has Dallas getting what they want, and it also has Colorado getting what they want.
What does
You know?
Dallas want?
Dallas, they're going to be playing teams in the Central Time Zone. They've been playing teams in the Pacific Time Zone.
Yeah, so have the Wings, and they're in the Eastern. You bum, shut up.
Hey, try to play them in the division.
But I mean, let's talk about the Wings for a bit here. They do you really want to see them establish a rivalry with the Florida Panthers?
I don't think they will.
Do you want to see
Do they
them?
have a rivalry with the Columbus Blue Jackets right now? No. Nashville Predators? Maybe. They didn't before last year. They played them all the time.
The
though.
point is that you look at the East. You look at how they've got. They got the division proposal that the Wings are in. They got it a little bit messed up. I mean, you take away the rivalry. You take away the rivalry with Chicago, but you do bring rivalries with the Leafs, and especially Jeff Krasinski's favorite, the Buffalo Sabres.
Well, Montreal.
And
Yes,
Boston, original 6 teams, you know. And hey, we'll see the Blackhawks in the finals,
You think
No,
so?
you
and
won't.
that would be a great rivalry.
No, you won't.
Why not?
Because I think Dallas is gonna be Dallas. I think is gonna benefit in the Pacific. Will be in this
In the
new division. Yes,
third
Dallas
division,
will
three.
benefit in this.
Why? Why is Dallas benefit?
If you look at it here, the time zone it helps a lot. I think that when it comes to travel, you know, the Stars were second in the league this year in miles
Behind?
behind Minnesota. So basically, I'm saying is that, you know, you put Dallas as a Central Time Zone team, and then you have to make them play LA, Anaheim, San Jose, who's in the Pacific Time Zone, and then you have Phoenix, who's in the Mountain Time Zone. But also, you don't know with Phoenix because that their ownership situation.
You look at the East and you look at the East and you look at the West. There's a difference between the brand of hockey they play out West and out East. Out East, it's a more finesse type of individual trallic type of hockey, whereas in the West, it's more team-oriented, more physical. With the Wings going to the East, obviously the Wings have been more finesse in years, but you know, at the same, I mean, it kind of does hinder because the Wings have also been known to be a physical team in the past as well. And the key word, and I say, is team.
What about teams like Pittsburgh and Philly? They're pretty physical.
Philadelphia is, I'm not convinced about Pittsburgh.
When those two play, it's a bloodbath.
Well, when they play each other, but I'm talking about, you know, Pittsburgh doesn't play physical against everybody else.
Well, that's debatable. I think when you look at it across the NHL, the game has changed a lot.
It has.
The thing with the East is there's a lot better teams in the East right now.
This year, right now, well, there's more parity. That's the thing.
Sure,
Whereas
sure.
back in the older days, it was always the Wings, the Avs, or the Stars.
I think, when have the Avalanche or Stars ever been in the conversation with the Wings?
I'm talking
Never.
about back in the day.
When? 1 year.
No, I'm talking about from a consistency between 1996 to about 2003.
How about for the
Year and
majority
a
of
half.
our, how about for the majority of
Year and a
our
half.
lifetimes? The Wings have made the
You're in
playoffs.
denial.
21 straight years. Talk about that for consistency.
Well, they might not make the playoffs this year.
Well, they're in 4th seed right now, buddy boy. Okay, where's Dallas? Where are they?
6th seed right now.
No, they're not. Get out of here. They're in the basement. What happened with your team last night? They win?
They won. They came back and beat Calgary.
Who'd your team lose to?
Shut up.
Edmonton? Yeah, all right, good. Don't talk. Listen, the move to the East for the Wings, I think is good that it's not happening this year because the Wings are definitely in jeopardy of not making the playoffs. Whereas they have an offseason to get their act together. There's going to be a lot stiffer competition in the East next year.
I think it's going to be more games.
Huh?
More games because it's only 48 this year.
Oh, well, yeah.
Well,
there'll be
yeah,
82
obviously,
next
a lot
year.
more games.
Yeah. So
I'm excited for, I want these divisions to happen.
yeah.
It'll be a good
I don't
experience
understand
for
the
the Wings.
playoff format.
But
What is
on
the
a
playoff
personal
format?
scale,
Do we know it yet?
on a personal scale with Sammy, means the Avs and the Stars get to play each other more. And that means more times of getting a chance to beat the Stars.
Fun night in the Taormina household, huh?
But back in your point about the playoffs,
Yeah. Do we know the playoff format?
I've been hearing 3 teams of each
Conference?
each conference, and then you have like a wild card.
From each conference or
I think it is.
from each East or West?
I'm not sure how
you
it's
know, I
formatted.
think that I would like to see maybe the top 4 from every conference.
Top 4?
Yeah, from every conference. And
So
that they play in group pairing of 8.
So it's 8 like now. You won't
Right.
see 8.
So you have the 2 division, the one in A and B, they'll have their top 4 teams play the other top 4 teams. The other format I've heard is they go by divisions where they have the top 4, the number 1 plays the 4, the 2 and the 3, and then that final, and then the other final from the 1 versus 2,
Sure.
and then the Stanley Cup final. So
Interesting. You think they're going to stick with the 8 teams from each conference, though?
I think they will.
Yeah. Do you like that?
I think it's a good idea. You know.
You like the NBA and NHL style of top 8 teams kind of thing? So a lot of people make the playoffs?
Yeah, a lot of people they do. And it makes it more entertaining in April.
hockey needs all the exposure it can get right now, especially in what happened with the lockout. And I think that if it happens, it'll be a good idea.
So do we think this realignment helps or hurts hockey?
I think it's honestly going to help because it does, in a sense, bring back. Yeah, it does feel weird with the Wings not being in the.
Propping up teams
East,
like
but-
Dallas? Helping teams
but
like
I
Dallas?
mean-
Helps Dallas, yes, a lot.
But I mean,
No, when the Wings were in the West, it helps Dallas.
no,
Yes.
no.
I
Yes.
can look at, with the Wings, you have the nice option of them either being in the East, but also maybe going back in the West and renewing the rivalry with Chicago and St. Louis and Minnesota. I think wherever the Wings go, it's a win-win.
Except if they go to the West.
No,
If
I
they
would think-
play every team at least once or twice or whatever in the NHL, that can still keep the rivalry with Chicago going.
fans want to see the games. Fans want to
Oh, yeah.
see those games.
Any original 6 game you want to see.
Also fans would want to see the rivalries with the Wings have
I
with
also
Chicago,
heard-
St. Louis,
But-
Colorado, Dallas.
I also heard next January 1st they're going to have the Gridiron Classic back at Michigan
Winter
Stadium.
Classic?
Winter Classic, yes.
Good.
So I think that the fans in Detroit they're going to get
Finally something we
gonna
deserve.
get something they deserve. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
But
Propping up the NHL for 15 years.
We'll just see what happens this year. We'll see what happens.
The question is, will this realignment get passed? Which hopefully it
It's
will.
still
I hope
it's still
so.
in the balance.
Right.
It's still in the balance right now.
Players got to prove.
I think there's enough hunger for it. All right. Any final thoughts on the realignment?
I support this realignment. Simple as that.
I like it because it helps Dallas out a lot.
One day you're not going to be a Stars fan, and that's going to be when they move to Quebec City or something.
Phoenix will have a better place of moving than Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. When we come back, spring training baseball, right here in between Taorminas.
Prescription drug abuse is a national epidemic. The new in way to obtain drugs is through parents' or grandparents' medicine chests. Removing prescriptions from your cabinet is the best way to keep drugs out of the hands of our young people. We've got to work together to protect our teens, our seniors, and our environment. Clean out your medicine cabinet today. Please participate in Operation Medicine Cabinet and drop off your unwanted or expired prescriptions at one of our law enforcement drop-off sites in Oakland County. We can't ignore this situation anymore.
We own a Habitat home.
I love working on my Habitat home.
Soy dueño de una casa de Habitat.
My neighbor is a Habitat homeowner.
Being a Habitat homeowner has changed our lives.
My mortgage payment for Habitat is less than what I pay for rent.
Habitat for Humanity of Oakland County currently has homes available with mortgage payments lower than most rent payments. If you or someone you know needs decent and affordable housing, call 248-338-1843 or visit our website at habitatoakland.org.
Welcome back to Between Taorminas. Glad you're joining us here today. Boys, watch out. Watch out. Okay. Listen. Interesting news and notes from spring training from down in Lakeland.
Mm-hmm.
Tigers are hitting the ball pretty well.
Yes.
A lot of their minor leaguers are hitting well, which, hey, how much can we read into this? Not much. Not much. What do we take away? What are we inspired about right now from Lakeland, though?
Well,
anything?
I went to a game, go back to a game in Atlanta.
Okay.
You know, where Miguel Cabrera hit.
That was Philly.
Philly.
That was against Philly, yeah.
Against Jonathan Papla. Sorry.
Yeah.
Where Miguel Cabrera hit a home run that just went, almost hit the sign out in left field. Are you kidding me?
That ball, if that was at Comerica Park, might have hit the scoreboard, for crying out loud. It wouldn't have, but it would have been awesome.
You know, if I look at the Tigers right now, Cabrera, fielder, been doing great in the home run balls. Victor Martinez getting back to form.
Hit a home run to center.
He's going back to his original self, which is great.
Yeah.
That's going to only help the Tigers going forward. Also, the pitching for the Tigers is there. I mean, you look at it, but you got to be careful because it is only preseason. So I mean, if they struggle in the regular season, that could be very bad.
Well, it'd be terrible. I would cry.
I know.
Well, you got Cleveland and Kansas City in there.
Yeah. You know? What about them?
Well, I think if you look at it, Cleveland's going to be better. Kansas City's going to be better than they were this year.
They were this year, yes.
Last year?
Last year. But
I hope so. The Central has sucked for so long, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. It's been bad the past few years.
But the Tigers have won the last two.
That's good. Hey, I'm not complaining. But it'd be nice to have a division that, you know, isn't the joke of Major League Baseball.
I mean, as long as the Tigers win, so be it.
That's true.
That's the old saying. But, I mean, they've been really impressive the last few games, particularly against Philadelphia. Philadelphia is not bad.
Hasn't shown the win-loss.
They lost a couple.
It doesn't really matter in the preseason. Win-loss record doesn't really matter in the preseason.
All right, I'm going to say a few names for you guys, okay? And I want you to tell me, do they make the opening day roster? And the first one is the Tigers version of Bryce Harper. You know, the Tigers version of Mike Trout. He's not as good as Mike Trout, but his name is Nick Castellanos. He's batting .667 right now. Okay, he went 3 for 3 yesterday. Does he make the roster? He's 20 years old.
Yes.
Tell me why.
Because I think that the Tigers do need a backup in the outfield.
Right.
Because, you got Quentin Berry, you got but I think Castanos, he's ready for the jump. He is.
He did not play AAA ball last year.
He played AAA ball
last year.
He played in AA, but I think now's the time for him to come up to the big leagues and play right away.
I'm going to say it varies. I would say maybe season him up in Toledo a little bit, and then move him up when he's ready, if need be. So I'm going to be honest and say no.
I agree, because last year he kind of got burned out. You know, he hit really well in the beginning when he moved to AA. Then he kind of tailed off.
Right.
He's hit 400 in single A. Mm-hmm. It's an exciting prospect.
Yeah, it really is. So we'll see how it goes.
What about Mini Miggy? Avisail Garcia.
Avisail Garcia.
Yeah.
No.
No? Why?
Why?
Tell me why.
You know, he struggled. He struggled during the World Series. I think that
he was one of the only guys putting together good at bats.
Well, because if you look at, I think he does need a little bit more seasoning. I think he needs a little bit more playing time.
Okay, he's older than Castellanos.
The outfield is so crowded in Detroit. It's not even funny.
The only problem with the outfield depth is it's all left-handed bats. Your starters are righties, with the exception of Dirks, Bosch, Barry. Those guys are lefties. So you need a right-handed bat.
Right.
Of course, we got that guy, Rule 5 draft pick, Coburnis, whatever the heck his name is. You guys know about him?
Not much.
Not much? Look it up, all right? You're supposed to come prepared to this show. I want to talk spring training. We're not going to say Miguel Cabrera's a good hitter. We all know that.
Be quiet.
A little prospect talk. Come on now.
Well, I think with Garcia, I would say I would start him because of what he has been able to do, or I would have him on the main roster.
You'd have him there as a backup. See, I like him and Castellanos.
So you want both of them in AAA?
I want Castellanos in left, and I want Garcia in right down in the farm.
Backup center?
I want Quentin Berry as my backup, my pinch runner on the bench. Okay, guy that can come down, lay down a bunt.
He had a great season last year.
He was all right. He was all right. He's a good guy.
Yeah.
Good speed guy. Works hard, brings excitement.
It's true.
I just don't understand why Cleveland's hyping up Ryan Raburn.
What?
Cleveland's hyping up Ryan Raburn.
Says who? You reading the Cleveland Sentinel or what?
I've been reading it, yes, and they've been hyping up Ryan Raburn. He's supposed to be a very good player for him.
You know what? You know what the weird thing about Ryan Raburn? He's real good in spring training, and he's real good the second half of the season.
First half is always the first half of the adventure.
Where has he been in between? I don't know. Do we remember Ryan Raburn had one of his best moments as a Tiger in Cleveland? Do you remember this? I think the year was 2010.
Yes.
Just after the All-Star break. He ran through the fence.
Yes.
And Johnny Peralta hit wasn't that when Peralta got the in-the-park home run?
Yes.
Because Rayburn ran through the fence?
Yes.
I'm glad he's gone, but we still have to look at him because he's in our division.
Yes, that's true.
All right, so pitching-wise, Porcello got roughed up a little bit the other day against the Braves. Smiley's performed well. I think he's only had one start.
So you're saying put Porcello in the bullpen?
I don't know. What do you think? Tell me.
For right now, if he gets roughed up, if he keeps on getting roughed up, then yes.
Trade bait? Anything?
Maybe trade bait.
Maybe trade bait?
I wouldn't say trade him.
Maybe.
I wouldn't say trade him.
Down the line, trade deadline time.
Maybe.
What do you see? What do you foresee the Tigers having a problem with at trade deadline?
Shortstop.
Shortstop. What about the closer?
Yeah, maybe closer. Yes. I mean, like Brian Wilson's still available.
Yeah.
You know, I think
Are you endorsing Brian Wilson?
No.
No, you don't want
I'm
him.
endorsing Redmond.
Who?
I'm endorsing Redmond.
Rondon.
Rondon, yeah.
Okay.
Give him a chance.
Okay. All right. Well, should we move along to?
Let's talk briefly about Michigan basketball and what happened to them against Penn State.
What happened?
They got upset.
They got upset. Why?
By a team
Bad
that's
call?
0-14 in the Big Ten. Penn State.
They lost.
They lost to Penn State.
Michigan did.
Yes.
To Penn State.
Yes.
And Sammy's comparing it to Appalachian State.
This is the greatest moment of, if you're a Buckeye fan and you're a Spartan fan, this is the greatest and happiest moment of your life. Because you got to look at what happened here is Michigan, they had a 90.2% chance of winning, and they lost to a team that was 0-14 in the Big Ten. This is going to kill your RPI.
Yes, it does.
I think Michigan next week in the poll drops from like 4th to maybe 22nd because of this loss.
22nd?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because
they lost to Penn
low.
State?
They should be ashamed of themselves.
All right, real quick.
They
Sunday.
lose to State Sunday.
What? They lose to State Sunday?
They lose to State Sunday.
Michigan State wins Sunday.
Blowout or closer game?
Blowout.
Again? Why?
I'm going to say by 10. Because Michigan's got no interior.
Okay.
And also,
They don't play defense.
Yeah, but I also think that Michigan State is going to kill them in the interior, and I also think that Michigan State's guards. I think that Keith Appling is going to have another big game against Michigan.
I think State's the more complete team than Michigan. and they're just too dominant in the post against Michigan. I don't think Michigan stands a chance.
It's going to be a good game, though.
It will be, yes.
Chrysler's going to be rocking.
Yes, it will be.
All right. Hey, when we come back, we're going to talk Lake Orion District preview right here on Between Taorminas.
We want a Habitat home.
I love working on my Habitat home.
Soy dueño de una casa de Habitat.
My neighbor is a Habitat homeowner.
Being a Habitat homeowner has changed our lives.
My mortgage payment for Habitat is less than what I pay for rent.
Habitat for Humanity of Oakland County currently has homes available with mortgage payments lower than most rent payments. If you or someone you know needs decent and affordable housing, call 248-338-1843 or visit our website at habitatoakland.org.
Prescription drug abuse is a national epidemic. The new in way to obtain drugs is through parents' or grandparents' medicine chests. Removing prescriptions from your cabinet is the best way to keep drugs out of the hands of our young people. We've got to work together to protect our teens, our seniors, and our environment. Clean out your medicine cabinet today. Please participate in Operation Medicine Cabinet and drop off your unwanted or expired prescriptions at one of our law enforcement drop-off sites in Oakland County. We can't ignore this situation anymore.
Welcome back to Between Taorminas on ONTV. As we're watching Sammy and Ian fight, let's talk about the next topic, which is Lake Orion, the boys basketball district preview. All right, guys, stop fighting.
What are we talking about?
Lake Orion boys basketball district preview. Monday, they play Clarkston. Lake Orion was part of the co-league champions in their division, tying Bloomfield Hills-Losser. What do you think about this matchup, Sam?
Well, it's an interesting matchup with Clarkson. I mean, like, played them once in the regular season. Clarkson won 55-45.
Yes.
I didn't think Orion didn't play well in that game, but neither did Clarkston. I mean, but Clarkson right now is playing their best basketball right now. Mm-hmm. And Orion had to get 2 wins after losing 7 of 9.
I mean, like, so I think it's a good matchup. I just think that whoever wins, I mean, like, it's going to be an interesting matchup because I know that the low zone, I know the jungle are going to be intact both games. Let's take a look at the district previews if we can on
district
here.
Bracket.
Or district bracket. We've got Lake Orion versus Clarkston. That winner plays Romeo. And then on the other side of the bracket, you got Oxford and Rochester Adams, who Adams is 20-0 in the league, or 20-0 in the season. What do you think about that? It looks like whoever wins between Orion and Clarkston will probably play Romeo, and then the winner plays Adams.
Well, this district is combined 66 and 30 and 30 and 35. You know, this is a scary district.
You got the OA Red champs,
got the OA Red champs, got the White champs, the Co-Blue champs,
all in one district.
All in one district. It's going to be an interesting. It'll be an interesting matchup.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, but Oxford and Adams, I think. I like Adams in that game because of Williams. And then Romeo, I mean, whoever wins Orion and Clarkson, that'll be another good war with Romeo.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever wins that game, I think.
Romeo's physical.
I think they can. But Romeo did knock off Lance Cruz North.
Yes, which is very impressive.
Earlier in the year, later in the year, so that was a big win for them. If Romeo can rebound, then I think they got a chance. But I can see this district either being Orion I mean, it's either going to be Adams against either Orion, Clarkston, or Romeo.
Fair enough.
I'm going to say it's fair enough, yes. Monday, Lake Orion plays Clarkson. Big game. Get to see, Greg Campy makes an appearance to Lake Orion. That should be interesting.
Maybe one day he'll make an appearance to the
yes,
set.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. You get on that.
Yeah,
Make it happen.
I will.
All right.
Yep.
Enough tiddlywinking. Time for business.
Yeah, we'll do call-outs first.
Okay, Tony.
I'm a proud Oakland guy. I'm proud of my roots from Oakland University. But at the same time, one Lake Orioner, he openly says he's a South Dakota State fan. Robert Aiello, why? Simple. I respect that you know the history of South Dakota State and that you are, but at the same time, I can never understand that why you are promoting the Jackrabbits in Michigan. It's already bad enough that we have people promoting the Dons here in Michigan. Robert Aiello, at the same time, you talk about, you want to come on the show and you want to talk Summit League analysis, I'm right here. We can talk about it. At the same time, you should get to learn to like Oakland more. It'd be great for you. My next call out involves two guys that pretty much are made for each other.
Keep it together.
Ian Weatherspoon and Don.
What?
Oh, Nelly! Oh, God, no! Simple. They both have a lot in common.
Big trunks?
I cannot do this call. I didn't know that.
Those are my special day.
Yeah.
What happened? Why?
Anyway, it's simple. Look how happy you look seeing Don.
Yeah.
They both like Fort Wayne.
So?
They both like Fort Wayne.
Yeah.
And at the same time, they both can be horrible people when you talk to them.
Easy.
Ian Weatherspoon and Don, you two are made for each other.
Oh, that's rough.
Didn't see that one coming.
Well, my call.
Louises.
Well, at least your call was more suitable. Mine is going to be more interesting. I'm going to call out my first guy here. I have a huge beef with him over accountability, over happy hour.
Okay.
First one I'm going to call out is Greg Miller. Greg Miller, why? Let's look at it here. Why would you allow your son to wear rainbow socks during a basketball game? What type of rainbow socks? And then, of course, to see you at a basketball game, you look like the Wizard. You look like Oz of the Wizard of Oz.
Ooh.
And you know, it's powerful. You're powerful and mystical. I'm going like, why? It's like I had to hear. I mean, like I see.
Is that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing.
That's not a bad thing.
You're making it sound like a bad thing.
You're making it sound like a bad thing.
And then of course, I know you're an All-American. I know you're an All-American in basketball, but also,
You
are
have
you
no
an
case.
All-American in miniature golf?
What?
I don't think so. I think I can beat you in miniature golf.
You're
I know I
challenging.
can beat you.
You're okay. I'm done.
I know I can beat you in miniature golf any day of the week, twice on Sunday.
Whoa.
Oh boy.
So, Mr. Miller, I use my catchphrase here. God darn it, I forgot
Keep
it.
calm and carry
Keep
on.
calm and carry on. And then my last call out
I'm
here
embarrassed.
is going to be Greg Digg. Greg Digg, why? I have so many issues with you.
Oh no.
I have so many issues with you that I can't even bear to watch. I mean, like in baseball, I know you did the announcing, and then you had like this famous
Isn't that
catchphrase called
McGraw?
"Yeah, baby." Like why? Why? I can't believe you do that. And then of course, look at the picture over here in the water one. It's like you're in a cruise line. It looks like it's a Carnival cruise line. Is it Carnival getting sued?
Oh jeez.
Oh my goodness! I'm afraid. Be very afraid.
What do you think Josh and Nick feel about this, Sam?
I have no idea.
I don't either.
I'm scared myself.
I'm scared myself.
For your sanity.
Yeah.
Your overall well-being.
Well, Ian has a special 25th birthday. How do you like being compared to an elephant?
You know,
Or Don?
that's fine. But I find it interesting you call out a high school kid for liking a team out of state when... Who's your favorite hockey team again?
That's different.
What state are they in?
That's different.
What state do you live in?
That's different.
How's that different?
That's
It's the
different.
same thing.
Nah, it's different.
Get that kid on here to call your butt out.
He wants to come on.
Good. Call you out.
I know Mike Watson, Oxford's AD, wants on.
Bob Dowd wants on?
Mike Watson, Oxford's AD. I know that wants to kill me.
Bob Dowd wants to kill you?
Yeah.
He's probably on the long list.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. All right. Well, there we are. Anything else you boys want to say or ramble on about or?
Nope.
No?
Next week, discuss Summit League tournament preview.
Okay. Little college basketball. Beautiful. All right. Well, thank you for joining us here on Between Taorminas on this beautiful day. Hope to see you again soon.
Keep calm and carry on.
Bye-bye now.